The explosion rocked the room. Instinctively, they ducked, and then stood up slowly when they realized there was no danger. No one spoke. Silence filled the room.
A beep?
All eyes turned toward it.
Did that thing just make that sound?
The display changed from engaged to vacant.
Let's see if we can open it.
7. The mountain swallowed hard.
Okay.
Junpei nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. A red asterisk appeared on the LCD panel.
Well, it registered my bracelet number. But it won't open with one person. We need at least 2 more people.
What to do? Ace and Lotus. Yeah. It's like, this doesn't really matter, but I don't think this, like, counts toward anything. So, may as well go in order.
Ace, Lotus, you think you could give me a hand here?
The pun was a little too on the nose, but the mood was still grim. Both Santa and June lifted their heads silently. He verified, and she followed suit. Wait.
5 plus 1 plus 8 equals 14.
I think the wrong text got in there. Instead of Santa and June, I think that was meant to say Ace and Lotus.
The digital root of 14, 1 plus 4 equals 5. This should do it. Now we just need to pull the lever on the side. You guys ready? I'm gonna open it.
Santa and June are the canon choice here, confirmed. Quite possibly. Junpei grabbed the lever and looked back over his shoulder. It would be funny, like, if we pick the others and, like, all their names are mixed up, like some weird translation issue. They stiffened and nodded. Junpei nodded back and set his mouth in a grim line. And then he slowly lowered the lever. Pull the lever, Kronk! There was a metallic groan and the door slid open. A breath of air drifted out of it, carrying a stench that nearly made them gag. Junpei grimaced and put a hand over his mouth.
Oh my god.
Good God.
Lotus and Ace shuddered. 7 grunted.
Whoa, that's pretty bad.
Even Santa's voice shook.
He blew up.
It appeared that Santa was right. The hallway on the other side of the door was splattered with chunks of torn flesh and dark red blood. The shriek echoed across the room. It had come from June. Then her strength left her, and she dropped. As Junpei turned to catch her, the door groaned shut. She crumpled to the floor.
June, are you okay?
Junpei dropped to his knees and put his arm around her shoulders. That was when he noticed. Her whole body was feverish. She was radiating intense heat.
What the hell? Where'd this fever come from?
June didn't answer. Her face looked like wax, and her whole body began to shake.
All right, okay, let's just rest for a minute, okay? You think you can walk?
She nodded weakly. Junpei lifted June to her feet and guided her to a nearby chair.
Here we go.
As gently as he could, he set her down in it.
How are
No.
you feeling? Are you all right?
She nodded, and as she did, a single huge tear rolled down the side of her face.
Why? Why did this happen?
Her voice cracked, broken by misery and grief and choked by sobs.
Why did this happen?
Junpei spun around.
Do any of you know what the fuck is going on here?
That's my boy.
Who's Zero? What's this Nonary Game? Come on! Anybody? Anything? What the hell is going on? What are we doing here?
No one spoke. Ace, Snake, Santa, Clover, Seven, and Lotus. They simply stood there. 7 pairs of downcast eyes and 7 grim lines for mouths. As opposed to just 7 eyes. Hey, Meg? Huh? June's body shook with silent sobs. They slowed as the minutes ticked by and eventually they stopped. And then suddenly, in the cold, heavy silence that had enveloped them like a thick fog, a bell began to ring. The clock in the central hall. 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And then on the 10th ring, it stopped. The sound of the bell faded away into silence.
It's 10 o'clock then.
Ace said what each one of them had been thinking.
That means it's been an hour since Zero's little announcement.
Seven's deep voice echoed across the room.
Fuck! I've had enough of this crap!
Santa leapt to his feet, his fists clenched.
How long are we gonna pussyfoot around like this? We've only got 8 hours until this time limit Zero is going on about is up. Let's get going already! Go! Go!
Santa's outburst fell on deaf ears. No one seemed to agree with him. They stared back at him, their eyes blank and their faces tired. Finally, Lotus spoke.
No, I refuse. I'm not gonna end up like him.
Him? You mean the 9th man?
Of course, who else?
In his mind's eye, Junpei saw the corpse again.
Blood. Oh, blood and pieces of flesh.
The dark, reddish-black pool of blood. The scattered pieces of flesh. Organs strewn across the floor like the blossoming of a grotesque flower. The explosion that had torn through his body had been powerful.
That's no way for a person to die.
The 9th man's neck had been twisted at an odd angle. Junpei suspected the detonation had thrown him against the wall. Half of his face was crushed, and the other half was covered in blood. Most of his abdomen had been emptied, either by the explosion or by gravity. He had landed on his back, and stark white ribs jutted up out of his chest, like the legs of some sort of macabre crab. Junpei felt something flip in his stomach.
I think he just screwed up.
Eyebrows went up, and Santa continued.
He probably set off some sort of trap, and that killed him. I'm not gonna screw up like that. I'm getting out of here alive.
Whatever Snake was laughing at, Santa did not find particularly humorous.
What's so goddamn funny? Oh, my apologies. You were just, so very confident. I couldn't help myself. What the fuck?
I think you've mistaken the situation.
Huh?
The ninth man's death. It had nothing to do with the trap. Or at least not the sort of trap you imagine it did.
Then?
He broke one of Zero's rules. That was why he died. Quite simple if you think about it.
Huh?
You still don't... All right. How about you take a moment and think back to what Zero said? Specifically, what did he say about the number of people?
He said only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door, right?
And after that? You've forgotten the relevant part. What did Zero say?
Santa furrowed his brow in thought. Junpei thought back. Zero said that everyone who verified had to go. Yeah, it was like everybody who participates must contribute or whatever.
All those who enter must leave, and all who enter must contribute.
That's the one.
Right? I think it was something like that. Whatever it was, it means that groups of less than 3 or more than 5 can't go through.
That is correct. A gold star for you, Junpei.
Gold star! Well done, buddy. Snake inclined his head toward Junpei.
The ninth man, however, broke that rule. He tried to pass through a numbered door by himself. That was why he was executed.
Then Zero's watching us from somewhere, making sure we don't break any rules.
Oh, I'm not so sure of that.
Why not?
Because this execution system is entirely automatic. You didn't notice? There's no need for him to monitor us.
What do you mean?
Snake looked at Seven with what could only be described as pity and sighed.
Very well. I see it must be me who tells you. I've waited long enough, I suppose. I had hoped Zero might spare me the trouble, but that seems increasingly unlikely.
Well, we are getting an ad break in about 25 seconds, so anybody who gets caught behind the ad wall, we will see you shortly, and we will miss you. He couldn't see them, of course, but perhaps Snake sensed the confused eyes upon him. When Ace spoke, he gave words to everyone else's thoughts.
Do you know something?
Well, I know a great many things, but yes.
What is it you know?
Here.
Snake removed a card from the pocket of his jacket.
A card? What does it say?
See for yourself.
With a flourish, he presented it to Ace, who took a close look at it and spoke.
Come on now, what's the point of giving me this?
Give me that.
Santa snatched the card from Ace, but his expression of disgust quickly turned to one of confusion.
Huh? The hell is this?
Seven tugged it out of Santa's hands.
I see.
The card went from 7 to Lotus, from Lotus to June, and finally to Junpei. He looked at it and understood.
This is Braille.
Braille, the written language of the blind. The card was covered with small embossed bumps. Junpei could recognize it, but he certainly couldn't read it.
Sorry, guys, I can't read this. Here, have it back.
Junpei handed the card back to Snake, who nodded at him with a small smirk.
Okay, that was fun. What's so important about that card?
I found it in my pocket. I can only assume it is a message from Zero.
From Zero?
A message?
What does it say?
Suddenly, everyone was crowding around Snake, desperate to hear what the message said. Santa especially looked as if he were about to grab hold of Snake and shake the answers from him. Snake raised his hand.
Calm down now. No need to panic. You don't need to force me. I'll read it.
Junpei swallowed hard and waited for him to start. He was not the only one. Presently, Snake began to read, his voice calm. His fingers glided over the tiny bumps as he spoke.
Bracelet number 2. Since you are not blessed with sight, I shall bless you and only you with information. I shall tell you of the function of the red, of the dead, and of the bracelet.
The red is the recognition device. It will verify your number. Beside every numbered door, you will find a red. The dead is the deactivation device. It does exactly what it says. Once you have passed through the numbered door, you must use the dead to stop the detonator in your bracelet. But perhaps you are wondering, what does this detonator detonate? I am afraid this might be something of a surprise. I have placed a small bomb inside of you and people who you are about to meet. You swallowed it while you were unconscious. I have no doubt that by the time you read this note, the bomb will have passed your stomach and found its way to your small intestine.
Okay, so it's not just the time limit, there's bombs inside them.
I suggest you do not try. As I mentioned before, the bracelet on your left hand contains a detonator. Think of it as a remote fuse, or timer, for the bomb in your body. There's only one
Astra.
condition which will cause it to detonate.
Astral.
That condition is that you enter a numbered door. Once you have done so, the timer will activate, no matter who you may be. You will have 81 seconds. If, after that time, the detonator
That's 9
has
by
not
9.
been deactivated, it will send a signal to the bomb in your body, instructing it to explode. In order to deactivate the detonator, every person who verified their number at the red must also verify their numbers at the dead. Once all numbers have been verified by the dead, you need only pull the lever at its side. And the countdown will cease. Anyone who does not verify their number at the red will find themselves unable to verify their number at the dead.
Okay.
That is to say, if you should pass through a numbered door without first verifying your number at the red, in 81 seconds, you will be dead. You must also keep in mind that the numbered doors will close automatically after 9 seconds have passed. So long as the doors open, the dead will not function. You would do well to remember this. Lastly, let's discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so.
Beat the game
You escape
or
from
die.
this ship. 2, your heart rate reaches 0.
Yep.
In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or detects that Nonar's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically. There is no other way to remove your bracelet. If you attempt to force it off, or disable the detonator, the bomb within you will immediately explode.
This is all the information which I can impart to you.
Okay.
How you choose to use it is for you to decide. If used wisely, you can eliminate those who might be a danger to you. For a time, you would be able to control your fate. I wish you the best of luck.
Snake finished reading and carefully returned the card to his pocket.
So it's saying only those who verify their numbers at the red can pass through the numbered doors. Teams can't add or subtract people after they're scanned in. The reds, deads, and bracelets enforce the rules. They're judge, jury, and executioner.
Shit! A fucking bomb! Come out! Come out, damn it!
In defiance of Zero's suggestions, both Santa and Seven put fingers down their throats and began to gag. The rest stiffened. Some touched their stomachs. Some simply stared at their bracelets. Junpei gingerly touched his stomach.
There's a bomb inside me.
The thought of it made him queasy.
Oh.
His stomach felt oddly hollow, and his legs were weak.
What made Zero think creating this horror show of a game was a good idea?
Junpei looked over at the others.
All right, I'm gonna ask one more time. Do any of you know anything about Zero?
And they were all silent, each person waiting to hear what the others would say. Finally, Santa spoke.
Actually, I saw him. I saw Zero when I got grabbed. I didn't see his face, though. Son of a bitch was wearing some kind of gas mask. What the hell? Come on, guys, give me something.
Hmm.
You know, like surprise or something?
Instead, it was Santa who looked surprised. There was a moment of silence, and then everyone spoke at once.
I saw that too.
I did as well.
Me too. I didn't see inside the mask, though. That mask, it was really scary.
Huh?
Oh, so all of our abductions were the same. We were taken from home at midnight. The person claiming to be Zero had a mask on. There was white smoke, and then each of us passed out. We woke up to find ourselves on D-deck, in a room with a 3-level bunk bed.
How about you, Seven? Did the same happen to you?
Only Seven's story seemed to lack the detail of the others.
Oh, me? Yeah, well, mine was just like the rest of yours.
And that was all he had to. That was all he had said. It had occurred to Junpei at the time that it sounded somewhat strange, but he didn't press the issue.
Okay, that's good enough for now.
He hadn't done so because there was something that struck him as even stranger.
So, I have a question.
That was the mystery of the relationship between Snake and Clover.
Snake and Clover, you were both kidnapped from the same room, and you woke up together.
Junpei looked at them thoughtfully.
So, what's the deal with the two of you anyway?
It was Clover that answered. Clearly, she felt she had nothing to hide.
We're siblings.
Siblings?
Yes. Snake is my older brother, obviously. That means I'm his little sister. That really so hard to understand?
Junpei was taken aback. The others seemed just as surprised.
She is correct, of course.
He laid his hand on Clover's shoulder.
Are you, surprised?
Well, yeah, but...
Why? There are other people here with connections to one another. Those two, for instance.
Snake pointed at Junpei and June.
Oh, you mean between Junpei and me?
Ah, yes. You did say you were childhood friends, didn't you?
Wait, you went to school together?
Yeah.
June glanced at Junpei, uncomfortable with the sudden attention.
Well, yeah.
Junpei felt somewhat nervous as well and tried to scratch his head as casually as possible.
Hey, you think maybe we could figure out who Zero is this way?
Yeah, you're right. You connect the dots between the victims and that leads you to the perp. Textbook stuff.
Evan's a detective.
Junpei. June. Does any of this ring a bell?
Huh, ring a bell.
Nah, he's in Bravely Default, my other favorite game.
Ring a bell?
No, I keep telling you he's not here. They looked at one another. And like it was staged, they both tilted their neck at the same time.
Well, perhaps you went to school with the son of a multimillionaire.
A millionaire?
Son?
Well, someone bought this boat and set up all of this. Whoever Zero is, they must be incredibly rich.
Well, we can't be sure of that. To me, this seems as though it's the work of an organization, not an individual. Most likely, Zero is simply the representative of a larger group.
What sort of organization?
It could be a number of things. An army, perhaps, or a research group. Perhaps this is all some sort of psychological experiment.
If it is, then it's a pretty fucked up experiment. I mean, come on! A guy's dead!
The word dead hung in the air, heavy and ominous. The room went quiet again.
I don't know who the hell this Zero asshole is, but I know for sure he's gotta be pretty fucked up in the head to do all this. If this was all one guy, then he's got some serious issues.
Even with the specter of death hanging over them, their discussions continued for some time.
I thought we were finished with that topic.
But then what should we do?
We should talk it through.
Oh my god, enough! All we're doing is talking!
Santa threw up his hands, his voice filled with irritation.
Talking won't solve anything! It can't help us find our way out of here! You really sure you want to just sit around? We've only got 7.5 hours left. We already wasted an hour and a half of our 9 hours.
Everyone there was already on the edge of panic. What Santa told them only made that feeling more intense. No one was willing to argue this time.
You're right.
Very well then. There's only one way for us to proceed.
Sure not gonna be fun running around knowing we gotta jump when Zero says jump.
Well, it's stupid to just sit around here doing nothing.
Well, thanks to Snake's card, at least we have some idea of how this all works.
Correct. And so long as we all follow the rules, we will most likely be all right.
But
But what?
who's going to go in which door?
June looked toward the numbered doors.
Oh yeah, that's right. We can't have any more than 5 people in one door. All 8 of us can't go in the same door.
Then it would seem we will have to split up.
Excuse me.
Wait.
Lotus looked terrified.
I'm telling you now, there is no way in hell that I'm going into door 5.
Come on now, don't be selfish.
Call me whatever the hell you want. I'm not going in there. If I'm going to have to walk through all that blood, then I'd rather stay here.
And we were doing so well.
Ace shook his head sadly.
Sorry, but I ain't going in there either. Someone else can go into door 5.
Oh, Santa, not you too.
Hey man, I just bought these shoes. If you think I'm getting some creepy dude's blood all over them, you got another thing coming.
Another think coming. And that was the last straw.
What the hell, man? Weren't you the one who kept saying we should get going? Yeah, so? Doesn't mean I wanted to go into door 5.
Oh, God.
There was an awkward silence. Finally, Seven spoke.
Fine, I'll go into door 5. I can't go in there alone, though. Anyone else willing to come with me?
There was another long silence. This time, Snake was the one to break it.
I'll go.
What?
Don't worry. You'll be fine. We may part now, but I'm certain we'll meet again later.
How do you know that?
Because I do.
Good morning, Night Blunter.
That's not an answer!
That's not an answer. No, she's right.
If you're going, I'm going too. I'm going into door 5.
What am I going to do with you?
There's nothing you have to do.
Ace stepped forward.
If I join you, the problem is solved, correct? 7 is 7, and Snake is 2. And if you add Clover's 4 and my 1, the digital root will be 5.
7 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1 is 14. The digital root of 14. 1 plus 4 is 5.
Oh, it works perfectly!
Ah, that little hop is adorable.
The 4 of us can go into door 5.
Wait. What about the other 4? What's their digital root gonna be?
Junpei did a quick mental calculation.
Lotus, Santa, June, and me. Our bracelet numbers are 8, 3, 6, and 5. 8, 3, 6, 5. What would our digital root be?
4.
Eight plus 3 plus 6 plus 5 is 22. So
2 plus 2 equals 4.
the digital root of 22, 2 plus 2 equals 4.
He repeated what he'd determined.
It's 4. Add up our 4 bracelet numbers and the digital root is 4.
Then we can go into door 4.
Yeah. Huh. That worked out well.
So the team assignments will be like this. 7, Snake, Clover, and Ace. They would go through door 5. Lotus, Santa, June, and me will go through door 4. Are these really the teams I want? Beyond door 5 is what remains of the 9th man. I never want to see that thing again, but something's telling me that it'd be a good idea to examine the corpse, even just a little closer. Of course, if I went through door 5, I wouldn't be going with Lotus and Santa. I could bring June with me through door 5, but that means she'd have to see the body in there. I don't want to put her through that.
Junpei was torn.
Should I stay silent and go through door 4? Or should I stop them and insist on door 5?
As he turned his options over and over in his mind, Ace spoke up.
All right, then. It seems we've reached a conclusion. Shall we go?
He began to walk toward door 5.
I'm going through door 5.
Clover and Snake followed, with 7 a short distance behind.
We're over there too, right, Snake?
The door's not going anywhere. Slow down.
Which door?
Okay. Well, let's move on then, shall we? So we're heading into door 4. I decided that door 4 would be fine.
I'll go through door 4 with Lotus, Santa, and June. There's nothing to worry about. I just need to stay by her side.
Yeah, we'll protect June. Akane Kurashiki.
This should be fine. It's no problem this way. I should see the other 4 off.
He made no shows of affection, but Junpei saw her as something more than just a friend from his childhood.
Looks like Ace and the others are going.
He watched the other four walk toward their door. Ace, Snake, Clover, and Seven. Junpei said nothing as they left. Before long, they had reached door 5. They talked to one another for a few seconds, saying things Junpei couldn't hear, and then laid their hands one by one on the scanner panel of the red.
Now then.
Ace grabbed the lever. His face tight with determination, he turned over his shoulder to look at Junpei and his companions.
Goodbye.
Be careful.
Slan! As Ace pulled the lever, the door swung open, the mouth of a great and hungry beast.
So horrible.
Beyond the door, Junpei knew, lay the sad remains of the 9th man. It did not surprise him that Ace, Clover, and Seven hesitated. The body was not a pleasant thing.
What are you doing? We need to hurry.
Snake had no such problems, as his blindness made him immune to the horror. He stepped through the door, his feet making a wet splack in the pool of blood.
Snake, your shoes.
It's fine. Hurry! Or are you planning on dying with everyone else? I assume you haven't forgotten the door only remains open for 9 seconds, have you?
Sorry, Snake.
Let's go.
The 3 remaining steeled themselves and stepped through the door. Door 5 swung shut, closing with the heavy finality of metal upon metal. Junpei and his companions scrambled to the door.
Hey! How is it over there? Did you find anything? At least say something, will you?
Something's beeping.
It's just like before.
Probably the sound of the detonator on the bracelet.
Do you think they're okay?
June's face showed her concern more plainly than her words ever could. Almost as though in response to her question, a voice rang out from the other side of the door. It was Seven.
Hey, there it is! That's gotta be that dead thing! Come on, get over here! We gotta authenticate!
Get over here!
The beeping.
It was more Scorpion after a full pack of cigs, huh? The sighs of relief were audible, even through the heavy door.
Phew. Looks like it stopped.
Junpei and his companions leaned away from the door, and breathed a collective sigh of relief of their own.
Hey, guys! Are you doing alright over there?
They'd heard Seven's voice, but it wouldn't hurt to be sure.
Yep, we're fine.
Despite the recent danger, Clover's voice was as bubbly as ever.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna tell you about this whole dead thing, okay? The dead is just like the red, but the color's different. You know how the red was red? Well, the dead is blue. Other than that, it's just like the red. Authenticating is the same too.
Awesome! Thanks. That helps a lot.
Well, we should probably move on now. You be careful out there.
There had to be a better way to explain that wasn't so video gamey.
Roger that.
Junpei and the others left door 5 and headed towards door 4.
Whew. Now it's our turn. I'll go first.
They stood in front of the red and placed each of their hands upon it. The 4 asterisks appeared on the screen. Junpei grabbed the lever and turned around.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
Sure. Let's go.
None of them looked particularly optimistic, but their faces were set. Junpei nodded to them and turned back toward the red.
All right, let's go.
Allons-y! With strength and determination, he pulled the lever.
Run!
The 4 of them leapt through the door together. The moment they passed through it, each heard a cold electronic sound coming from their left wrist.
Oh, damn.
In the center of each bracelet, a red skull appeared and began to flash.
It's counting down.
The detonator's countdown had begun. In the long moment that each of them spent staring at their wrist, the numbered door behind them closed, the sound of metal on metal reverberating down the hallway.
We can't go back!
We need to hurry and find the device.
Hey! Where the hell is the dead?
How would I know?
Don't give me that crap! Start looking!
I already am.
They began to run, eyes looking frantically for the device that was the key to their salvation. The hallway they found themselves running down was a long one, easily 300 feet in length. On the right side of it stood a series of wooden doors, all nearly identical. If they had taken time to think, they would likely have discerned that the doors lead to cabins.
Don't tell me the dead is in one of those rooms.
Oh no! How many rooms do you think there are?
Junpei was too frightened to count properly, but at his best guess, there were 7 or 8 of them.
Ah, fuck! We don't have time to count!
Junpei ran to the nearest door.
We just need to open them all!
He grabbed the knob and shook it hard.
It won't open!
It didn't feel locked, more like someone had hammered an iron plate over the other side of the door. Junpei turned around to find another door, and saw that his companions had already run to doors of their own. They did not seem to be having any more success than he had. Their own words confirmed his fears.
Shit, this one's no good!
Same here. It's not moving!
June was the last to speak up.
Oh.
As Junpei looked in her direction, his eye caught something he hadn't noticed before. A small, red, blinking light.
There it is! At the end of the hallway! Run!
Even as he yelled, he ran. He grabbed Santa, Lotus, and June and pulled them toward the light. Santa called out to them as he ran.
Hey, how many more seconds do we have?
How would I know?
Our time limit is 81 seconds!
I know that, goddammit! I'm asking you how many seconds we have left!
In all likelihood, Junpei figured nearly a minute had already passed since the door had closed behind them. If that was true, urgency foremost in all of their minds, they arrived at the end of the hallway. The dead sat on the left wall, blinking almost tauntingly at them.
Hurry! It's the dead! Get over here!
Junpei grabbed hold of the machine, his hands slick with sweat and shaking. He slammed his hand against the scanner panel.
Come on, everyone!
The other three quickly followed suit. With a grunt, Santa yanked the lever downward.
Looks like it stopped.
His hands beginning to steady, Junpei wiped away some of the sweat that had beaded on his forehead. As they caught their breath, the four companions began to look around.
There's another door at the end of the hallway.
He could see a heavy-looking set of double doors. Set into the walls of the hallway on either side of the larger door were two smaller ones.
Let's try this one first. And of course it won't open.
How many times had he come across similar doors with similar results, he wondered. Or perhaps, he corrected himself, more a lack of results. Whatever the reason, the door remained firm and unyielding, and refused to allow Junpei or anyone else passage.
A keyhole.
Above the keyhole was a small symbol engraved in the brass.
What's this mark? Mail?
He wasn't quite sure what to make of it, and stared at it for a moment in confusion. It was June that corrected him.
No, not exactly. That's probably the symbol of Mars. Well, technically, they are the same symbol, but I saw a number of similar symbols near the main stairway. The symbols of the solar system.
Oh, that's right. The Sun, Saturn, and Earth.
At least that's what I'm assuming.
So this isn't the man symbol. It's a symbol for Mars?
Is that the Elgato again? Okay. Okay, let me know how you get on with that.
I think so, yes.
I see. Wait, where's Santa?
While Junpei and June talked, Santa had disappeared. They turned to find him some distance down the hallway. He had gone to check the other doors. Eventually, he reached the last of them and jogged back. It took him only a moment to catch his breath again.
Yeah, so, I looked the place over. Here's the deal. None of the other doors open.
Then that must mean...
We only have 2 more doors.
Lotus examined the doors on either side of the larger double door. Each one had a metal plate attached to it.
Maybe it's the room number.
The door on the left has B92, and the one on the right says B93. All right, let's open them. I'll open B92.
Okay, I'll get B93 then.
Junpei put his hand on the doorknob, and Santa moved to the other door. They'd made it through the numbered door alive. There was nothing more to be afraid of. Junpei and Santa looked at each other and nodded.
1, 2, 3!
In unison, they pushed against their respective doors and promptly found themselves in a new room. June followed Junpei as he threw open his door. They turned around and saw that the door on the other side was open as well. Through the door was another person, his mouth agape. It was Santa.
Hey, it opened.
Yeah, it did.
Junpei and Santa looked at each other.
I didn't expect that.
It was so easy.
Lotus's calm voice broke into their thoughts.
Maybe this is all part of Zero's plan. I can't say I enjoy being treated like someone's puppet.
As she headed for room 93, Lotus continued.
Well, now we have these 2 rooms. I'm sure there's something in there that will help us get out of here. Let's find it. Santa and I will search this room. You 2 take the other one.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, look what it is! Look what it is! Look what was on the wall! It's almost like I chose to do this room on purpose. Okay, room 92. Hey. Right. This is kind of a weird looking picture. Do you think it's an abstract painting or something? It looks kind of like a demon with an elephant-like nose, sucking on a human being's brain. Where the hell did that come from? What's her brain made of? Can't say I'd mind finding out a little more about what goes on in there. That vase looks expensive. I wonder how much we could get for it. Are you gonna steal it? Oh god, June is just Maya Fey. Looks like a valuable vase. Empty though. Looks like there's a room to the right of the vase. Matches. It's a box of matches. There are matches inside, obviously. Okay. Junpei looked down blankly at what he was holding, and then up at June.
Oh yeah, how's your fever? You feeling better now?
Yes, I'm fine.
June certainly looked fine.
Let me see your forehead.
Junpei held his hand on her forehead for a few seconds.
Guess it really has gone down.
Are you worried about me?
Yeah, I guess I am.
Yeah, I guess I am.
June blushed and giggled.
By the way, Junpei?
Hmm?
How did you end up here?
What do you mean? I told you earlier, didn't I?
there was a man with a gas mask when you got home at night. You inhaled some white smoke and passed out. When you woke up, you were on D-Deck.
Damn straight.
But is that really the truth?
What?
Junpei, are you hiding something from me?
No, why would I?
Well, if you think about it, this is awfully suspicious.
June, what are you getting at?
I mean, why would two childhood friends bump into each other in a place like this?
Hey, I could ask you the same thing. Are you hiding something?
What would I hide?
Well, I don't know. Anything. I mean, you're hiding it. How would I know?
Fair point.
You mean, like, the number of men I've dated?
No, I don't want your body count. Junpei's heart stumbled over itself.
Do you want to know?
He had to admit, he was a little curious.
Don't worry.
She smiled at him.
Only 18.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Times 0. Yeah, I guess I just haven't met Mr. Right yet.
Yeah, he's in the other visual novel series. June looked a little embarrassed and scratched the back of her head in a desperate attempt to seem nonchalant.
Yeah, I see.
Junpei coughed quietly in much the same way.
Anyway, I'm not hiding anything. Just like you, Junpei. When I woke up, I was on D-Deck.
Well, you do have a point. I mean, why did Zero pick us? We haven't seen each other since elementary school.
It's a flustered point, but a valid one. And agreed.
I wonder.
June nodded, and for a few moments she had the faraway look of someone deep in thought.
Look for what connects the victims. That will lead you to the culprit. Do you remember Seven saying something like that?
Yeah, I do. So?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think this must all have something to do with a classmate of ours.
You got any ideas who it might be?
No, nothing.
Oh,
It is 4 in the morning and I'm hearing birds tweeting.
Well, if it had something to do with school, then it could be one of our teachers, or maybe the principal?
Or the janitor, or the lunch lady.
No, I can barely remember any of them.
Yeah, I know.
Junpei went back to searching, feeling unpleasant and confused. Elementary school. Elementary school. Was there anything strange that had happened in elementary school? As he searched the room, he continued to rack his brain. Junpei, where are you going? I was thinking of going over to Lotus's room. Do you think maybe you could look around here a little more before you go? There's a lot for me to do here all by myself. Okay. Oh. This isn't a painting. Is it a map? It looks like a map of the ship's interior. Oh, this is a great find. I think it'll be really useful. Let's take it with us. It is now possible to use the map screen. Map screen can only be viewed during story sections. While on the map screen, you can examine a map of the ship's floor plan, which you will acquire over the course of the story. Pressing L and X will allow you to see a bird's eye view for that room. Junpei took one last look at the map, and then folded it up and slid it back into his pocket. June looked up as he closed it.
This ship is bigger than I thought.
Yeah, it's probably about 900 feet long.
Must be one of those fancy cruise ships.
Of course, it doesn't really look like a cruise ship. Everything in here is really retro. Even if it's just some sort of style choice, there's just too much.
Do you remember what Zero said?
On April 14, 1912, the famous ocean liner Titanic crashed into Earth's moon. After remaining afloat for 2 hours and 40 minutes, it sank beneath the waters of the North Atlantic.
Do you think maybe this boat and the Titanic have something to do with each other?
That's a good point. I doubt he would have mentioned it if there wasn't a reason.
Your birds are broken. I mean, yeah, probably. Junpei took a moment to look around the room. Hey, Yura, how you doing?
Do you think this boat is...
A replica of the Titanic?
a replica of the Titanic?
A replica?
Yeah, you know, like a copy of the actual boat.
Who on earth would make something like that?
Fans. Crazy Titanic fans.
Crazy Titanic fans. Why not?
No way. Do you even know how much money that would take?
No idea. But all they've got to do is break even, you know?
Break even?
Yeah, they could use it as a cruise ship. Climb aboard a piece of history, sail around the world in the resurrected Titanic. Hell, with marketing like that, they'd probably have more customers than they'd know what to do with.
Do you really think people would want to ride on a ship with such an ominous past?
Yes.
It's the site of the worst accident in history. Over 1,500 people died. I wouldn't be surprised if you'd get cursed just for going.
Titanic 2, Electric Boogaloo. We've seen what happened with the billionaires. Yeah.
A curse, huh?
Jumpy, do you believe in that sort of thing? You know, curses and stuff?
No, they're a load of crap.
Sorry, but I can't really say I believe in that kind of stuff.
Tact was not one of Junpei's many better qualities.
What about you? No, I guess that's kind of a dumb question.
Yes, I do believe in curses. In fact, I think it was a curse that sunk the Titanic.
What?
A curse sank the Titanic. The curse of the Egyptian mummy.
Egyptian mummy? Junpei couldn't understand how June had maintained a straight face to say that.
Supposedly, the Titanic carried the mummy of the priestess Amun-Ra. which was stolen from a pyramid. And they say that the mummy had a history. Everyone involved with it died mysterious deaths. Come on, I'm sure you've heard of it before. Those who open the coffin will be forever cursed. Haven't you ever heard that one?
So you're saying the Titanic sunk because of that curse?
That's right!
June's eyes had lit up with excitement, like a child with a new toy.
That's stupid. I don't buy it.
It's true!
How can you be so sure?
That mummy wasn't just a normal mummy. It was really mysterious, totally unbelievable.
What is so unbelievable about it?
Well, supposedly, she was really pretty.
Pretty?
Yes,
But she was a mummy.
that's right. She wasn't all shriveled up or rotten or anything. She almost looked alive.
Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, it's that thing. I don't remember the name. Where your body turns into some kind of wax? Yeah? The fat in it turns into something kind of like candle wax, right? And
Yes, saponification, but that's not what it was.
June is such a nerd.
huh?
That's not it. She wasn't wax.
Then what was it?
They say that she was frozen.
What? Frozen?
That's right. The whole body was frozen solid. You know how a human body is more than 60% water? Well, all of that water was frozen. The story says that from the time of its discovery all the way through to when it got put on the Titanic, even though it was carried through the desert, her body never melted.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a bit nuts.
I think so too, but maybe it's true and we just didn't know about it before.
I didn't know?
Yep. Maybe it's common sense to eat shaved ice in the desert because it lasts forever.
Huh? Nah, that seems too silly to be true.
But maybe it isn't. It just appears that way because you didn't know it was true.
Well, yeah,
June and Junpei talked a little more, and then went back to their investigation. But even as they did, his mind went back to what she told him.
ice that doesn't melt, even in the desert? Does something like that really exist? No, even if it did, it wouldn't really be ice anymore, would it?
The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. Like he'd eaten his ice cream too fast. Okay, it's a bottle with water in it. This is a bedroom. They probably have it here because your throat always feels dry when you wake up, you know? My throat's dry, but I think it's because I'm a little nervous right now. Well, we did run a lot, so we're kind of sweaty. Hey, Jumpy? Did you want to take a shower together? Whoa! Just kidding. Brat. Too late to take it back. My brain's already working out the picture. My throat was dry already. This sure isn't helping. A wooden cupboard. There were cups inside, surprising no one. It's a light blue blanket with some designs on it. Don't bonk Jumpy! June's the one who led him on! Bonk June! And then bonk Jumpy. You know, equal bonking. someone's made the bed. Or at least never unmade it. There's only bed sheets under the blanket. Nothing exciting. Look, there's 2 pillows right next to each other. Guess it's a double. Uh-huh. What's up? You're turning red. Oh man, is her fever back? Hey, are you alright? Do you need to lay down for a minute? I'm fine. I think it's still a little early for that. Huh? Hey, seriously, are you really okay? Dresser key. A key? Do you think it's the key to the dresser? I mean, it's a dresser. There's nothing on top. This is the mirror for the dresser. And now she's playing with her hair. Does she even realize she's doing that? Hey, we don't have time for that. Come on, it's not like there's anyone here you need to impress. Meg, I just thought of something. The elevator conversation. Oh, don't worry, Rinka. We'll get there eventually. Yes, there is. Who? What? Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? Oh, forget it, Junpei. Baka, Junpei. It's a display case, but there's nothing being displayed. How sad. Looks like the drawers are empty too. Okay, are we done here then? Junpei, what are you doing? We don't have time to be relaxing on a sofa. Fine, you can play with your hair, but I can't just chill out on a sofa? That doesn't seem fair. Junpei, where are you going? I was thinking of going over to Lotus's room. Why? What do you mean, why? I'm just gonna go check up on them. Is there something wrong with that? Well, no. Come back soon. Sure thing. I'll leave the rest to you. Sure. Leave it to me. Alright, off to the other room. Looks like a valuable vase. Empty, though. Seems to be a room on the left side of the vase. There's a square tile in this frame. It's glued in there quite well. I don't think you can take it out. Well, this is the display case. Check it out. These plates and shit look really expensive. You want to take a look? Damn. Guess this is the wrong key. Well, that means there's gotta be another one somewhere around here. Otherwise, we aren't gonna be able to open this thing. A round wooden table. Wow, this is very nice wood. So, big deal. There's something on top of it. A candle with a candlestick. This might come in handy. It's a candle, Junpei. It's on an iron candlestick. That's a pretty big candle. If we light it, it'll probably get really bright. Hey, Junpei. That room's pretty dark. Don't you have something that'll give us some light? Something that'll give us some light. Why does it work with everything said? Fine. I know. If I use these matches to light the candle... Awesome. With the light from the candle, maybe we can take a look over there. But it gets so hot when I hold it. I want to put it down. Well, why don't you set it on top of the dresser? It's flat there. At least it won't fall over. Oh yeah. Good idea. Hey, it got pretty bright. Now we can look around a little. Let's see if this... Yes! It worked! That's a strange design. Is it ceramic? Doesn't look like there are any puzzles in it. It doesn't look like there are any puzzles in it. This is the mirror for the dresser. Damn straight. Nothing weird about it, though. You're a puzzle. Got him. Hey, Blunter, what have you missed? Nothing yet. We're doing the second class cabin. We've already had our conversation about the Titanic and about ice that doesn't melt. Curtain. Curtain, huh? Well, it's got all these metal rings, so you could probably hang it from something, you know? Yes, but it doesn't look like a normal curtain. The way it feels, I think it's probably waterproof. Which would make this a shower curtain. A shower curtain, huh? 2 pillows in a pile. Oh. A pile of pillows. Is that supposed to be some kind of joke? Hey, calm down. Aw. Huh? Hey, what the hell? It just got dark all of a sudden. Maybe the candle got blown out. We should go see. Hey, what's this? The top of the candlestick looks kind of weird. You're right. It's all bumpy. Oh, that looks like a key now. A candlestick key. The part of the candlestick where the candle goes looks like a key. Key, huh? I think I ran into a lock I couldn't open earlier. See if this candlestick will do anything. Yeah. It opened! Alright, pull that shit open! Alright. Hey, don't you think the pattern on that tile looks like something? Yeah, I think I saw it somewhere. We need to put that tile in a frame.
Hey, Junpei, you got a minute?
Oh. Santa had shown up out of nowhere and gave Junpei no small start. Huh?
Here, take this.
Santa pulled something out of his pocket.
A bookmark?
It looked like a bookmark. It had a 4-leaf clover on it.
What is this for? Do you want me to read a book?
I found it in between some of the cushions on the sofa. Pretty sure it ain't gonna be any help to us, but I figured we might as well hang on to it anyway.
Then why don't you hold on to it?
Santa gave him a wry smile.
You know what I hate most in the world?
Oh, the music got very ominous.
I got 4 things. Hope, faith, love, and luck.
Hey, wait a minute! Why does that sound familiar? Glances awkwardly at the description of this channel.
Hope, faith, love, and luck?
Damn straight.
And you hate these things?
Yeah, you got a problem with that?
My dude is literally emo era. Yeah. Yeah, very early 2000s emo attire.
Not really, but...
Junpei tried to figure out how best to phrase what he wanted to say.
What does a bookmark have to do with any of that?
Santa scratched the back of his ear and looked awkward.
Well, see, each leaf on the 4-leaf clover has a meaning to it, okay? And that meaning is pretty much those 4 words. It's like flower language. Well, I guess it's not a flower, is it? So, leaf language, I guess? Yeah, you could call them leaf words.
Leaf words.
Junpei looked at the bookmark.
Hope, faith, love, and luck. The meaning of the leaves on a 4-leaf clover.
So, yeah, I want you to take it, okay? Just touching it gives me the creeps. Take the damn thing, alright?
Jesus. Chill out, man. Santa pretended to shiver with disgust and shoved the bookmark into Junpei's confused hands.
Here.
What do you want to do? Oh, this is actually... This is an ending trigger. So... Oh, we'll take the bookmark. It won't matter for the route I'm aiming for this run. Decided to take it. After all, why shouldn't he?
Alright, sure. I'll take it.
He shoved the thing into his pocket and gave Santa a last confused look.
Oh, man, I feel a lot better now. That thing was a real pain, you know?
Do you really hate those 4 words that much?
Yeah, well, they can all betray you know? Hope, faith, love, even your destiny.
What had happened to Santa, Junpei wondered. How had he become such a bitter person? For a moment, they looked at each other.
Well, that's not my only reason.
What?
What?
That's not the only reason I hate the 4-leaf clover. I just can't bring myself to like the number 4.
What, worried about the 4 horsemen?
Or that it means that it's like, what, she or death in Japan, and you've already taken your 3 to mean san?
Nah, come on, man. That's just silly. Maybe back in the Dark Ages that kind of crap scared people. But this is the 21st century, and I'm a 21st century guy. I'm a little insulted.
Then why do you hate 4 so much?
'Cause it's a half-ass number.
It's a half-ass number. What the hell?
Not the best or the worst. That's why.
You, what?
Yeah, what?
9 is a way better number. So what if it's last place, right? At least it's not some lame-ass middle number.
What are you...
Santa's explanation made no sense. Junpei was even more confused than before.
You play?
Play?
Like stocks?
You mean like the stock market?
Nah, that's not what I mean. Why the hell would you think that? I mean, yeah, I do stocks too, but...
This last statement, more or less thrown away by Santa, caught Junpei very much by surprise.
You? A stockbroker?
Yeah, got a problem with that?
No, you don't look like the type.
What Junpei didn't say, of course, was that he didn't think Santa looked smart enough to be a stockbroker.
Man, that stuff's just like gambling, you know? All you gotta do is bet on the winning horse. Nothing that hard about it.
You sure sound pretty confident. So, are you betting on winning horses?
Of course I am.
Is Santa ravioli? Is that a Sean Chiplock I'm hearing?
You remember a couple of years back when the stock for Cradle Pharmaceuticals shot through the roof? Stacked a few bills over that, if I do say so myself.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, was all Junpei could think of. He'd never even heard of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Fortunately, he was saved quickly from further embarrassment.
Hey, how long are you gonna stand around wasting time? Stop screwing around.
The voice screaming at them from the other room was unmistakably Lotus's. Junpei and Santa looked at each other.
The lady has spoken.
Santa sighed.
We better get back to work before we really piss her off. I don't want her beating me up.
And with that, Santa walked off. Slowly.
Hey, wait! We weren't done!
He started after Santa. He intended to catch him, but Lotus appeared from the next room, blocking his path. Her posture suggested she was not about to let him pass. There was nothing for it. He had lost.
Okay, I'll get back to work. Damn it.
Her glare suggested any other choice would not have ended pleasantly for him. Junpei mumbled to himself under his breath and went back to his search. Oh. This is the bathroom wall. The whole wall is covered in these square tiles. Yeah. It's a wall covered in tiles. They've all got geometric shapes on them. Alright. That's the shower knob. I tried turning it, but no water comes out. Alright. What's up? You're going back already? Well, I can't just leave June there by herself. Huh. What, you think you're her knight or her protector or something? You're creeping me out. Whatever, man. I'm going. That's the bathroom wall. There are square tiles all over it. This wall's covered with square tiles. Shower curtains, huh? Let's try closing it. Nope. Now I can see the full expanse of the shower curtain in all its waterproof glory. There's nothing. Suspicious. It's just a normal old shower curtain. A narrow shower. I'm standing in it with June. This is awkward. Time to open the curtain. It's a shower head. Feels dry too. That probably means no one has used it in a long time. Yeah. Now let's check the toilet. There's nothing there. The tank's empty too. There isn't even any water in it. Oh, well. Yeah, why don't we go back to the living room? Okay. Let's go back. There's a curtain rod running along the ceiling. Any Pokeballs in the bin? Let's put that shower curtain on those hooks. Let's try spreading the curtains. Whoa! That's a pretty obvious peephole. Somebody's really dedicated. Well, with a hole this big, you gotta wonder if maybe they wanted to be caught. So, you're saying maybe the one getting spied on was into that shit? Oh, maybe they were into, like, those home invasion fantasies. Home invasion? Interesting. I see. You two are real idiots, you know that? There's a hole in the curtain. If I look at it from a ways back, I can see a single tile. Alright, from here I can see what tile it is. Looks like it's 5th from the top and 3rd from the right. Well then that means... Yeah, okay, so I was getting ahead of myself. Hey Junpei, that tile you've got, you think maybe you're supposed to put it in one of these empty spaces? And the pattern does kind of look the same, doesn't it? He's right. I think so too. But if that is the case, you're going to need to collect all 3 tiles, right? Don't you think we should collect all of them before you start putting them in? Alright, fine. Junpei, if you miss her so much, you don't have to keep coming back here. Shh. No, that's not what this is. I'm just being like a bridge between the 2 rooms. Aha. You just keep telling yourself that. Now get out of here and go help June. Yes, this one's loose! I think I can get under this with my nails and... Yes! Who would have thought this would be hidden in the bathroom, huh? You did a good job finding it. So one side has a design like the rest of the bathroom tiles. And the other side has the black and white design. I think I've seen that pattern somewhere before. Hey. Alright, I'm gonna give it a shot. Oh, okay, hold on. I know how this works. Then... Or at least I thought I knew. Yeah. There it is! Yes! I did it! There. Picture complete. And there goes the frame. What's this? What do you mean, what's this? Pretty obvious, isn't it? It's a hole in the wall. Like a hidden safe or something, you know? Anyways, let's take a look. I think there's something inside. Never use your nails, they're gonna break. Mars key! Whoa! This is one of those Mars symbols. The door at the end of the hallway has the same symbol engraved on the keyhole. Then, that's gotta mean... Yes, we can use this key to get through that door. Junpei messed around a bit with the key he had, and looked blankly at the picture that slid down.
What's the deal with this picture anyway?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Santa had only been mumbling to himself, but it drew Lotus's attention. She looked at the picture and paused.
I think I've seen this picture before.
Where?
In a book. There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory. I saw this picture in his book.
What's this interesting theory?
Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance.
So, this exists. I actually have the website bookmarked, and I figured we could go through it when we're done with the game. Obviously, I can't cover everything, because, you know, fair use and commentary and everything. But this exists. This is real.
Man, I can't deal with this. Just listening to you talk about it is giving me a headache.
Santa put his hands on his head, as though he were in great pain. Lotus merely arched an eyebrow in his direction and continued.
It's not a difficult concept to grasp. In essence, he states that the shape of living organisms and their behavioral patterns are transmitted through a field not visible to the eye.
What part of that isn't difficult, exactly?
Lotus did not look pleased.
All right, how about this? Theory of the telepathic mechanism.
Telepathy?
Yes, telepathy. Well, perhaps not exactly telepathy, but
Getting fuzzy again?
close enough
Okay,
for a
let me
simple
fix.
approximation.
Santa suddenly burst into laughter.
Are you serious? Telepathy? Who do you think we are? Kids from the 70s? I can't believe someone would actually do serious research on something like that.
Yes, I agree.
Lotus's response was surprisingly curt. Junpei had expected at least some conflict.
I read the book, but I can hardly say I understood it. I'm in no position to defend or condemn anything it said. It was probably just someone latching onto a statistical outlier from some study and turning it into a ridiculous theory. There's no scientific merit to any of it, I'm sure. But even so, Anyway, I saw a picture like that one in his book.
Lotus indicated the picture they'd all been looking at. After a moment, she walked up to the strange picture, examined it, and then spoke.
Hey, what do you think this picture looks like?
Santa answered first.
What do you mean? Isn't it just like abstract or something like that? It's just black and white scribbles. There's no meaning there. That's it.
What about you, Junpei? Does it look like anything to you?
It's time.
I guess it looks like...
Funyarinpa.
Funyarinpa. See? I mean, this totally looks like one. Here and here.
Junpei indicated parts of the picture that looked exactly like the other parts. After 3 seconds of silence, Lotus looked at Junpei.
What the hell is a Funyarinpa?
What do you mean? What the hell is a Funyarinpa? You mean you don't know?
How the hell would I know?
How could you not know? That's practically blasphemous. Oh, say you're sorry. Apologize to the Funyarinpa. Goodness, you are such a rude woman.
It gets me every time. Hold on. There we go.
Junpei, are you just screwing around? Forget it. I'm just gonna tell you. This is a dog. See? Like this.
So? Now we know what it's a picture of, but I don't see how that helps us.
A TV show from Great Britain did an experiment once. They took two similar pictures. Both of them were difficult to identify, initially.
I always see the Funyarinpa first, then the dog, right?
But once you figured out the answer, you couldn't see it as anything else. These two pictures. The first was a woman wearing a hat. The other one, well, to make it easier, let's just say it was this picture of a dog. So, their experiment. First, they sent the picture to other parts of the world, outside the reach of British airwaves. To Ireland, the US, Africa, Europe...
Hey, Ireland mentioned.
Then, in each country, they gathered a number of test subjects, roughly 1,000 people. They were shown the two pictures and asked, what does this picture look like to you? The results weren't really interesting on their own. 9.2% of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. .9% saw the dog in the dog picture.
Okay.
Then, 2 days later, they aired a new program on their show. During the 30-minute show, they broadcast the dog picture and its solution. The audience was estimated to be 200,000 people. After the broadcast, it was a safe bet that the number of people who knew the solution to the dog picture was at least that many.
Right.
After another 2 days passed, they gathered more research subjects from areas outside the reach of British TV and radio. This time, they only found a sample of roughly 850 people. Them had participated in the first test. They were, however, given the same test and the same two pictures. The results were startling. 10% of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. The previous test sat at a 9.2% success rate. Not much of a change statistically. The dog picture, however, produced a very different result. The percentage of people able to successfully find the dog, it went from 3.9% to 6.8%, a very significant increase.
Okay.
So do you understand? Do you realize the significance of this experiment? There was no way the second group could have seen the picture. They lived far away from Britain and couldn't have seen it. But even so, it was only the success rate for the dog picture that went up. Why? How did that happen? What does it mean?
Lotus looked back and forth, from Junpei to Santa and back again. Normally calm and collected, she looked now as though she were very nearly possessed, and there was something manic about her manner. Santa took an involuntary step backward. Junpei didn't budge and stared straight back into Lotus's eyes.
Oh, wait, does this have something to do with that field, or whatever it was that you were talking about earlier? A field not visible to the eye. So, if more people know the answer, then that information will pass through the field. Huh.
Psych!
Oh, come on! Her manner suddenly shifted, and Lotus smiled broadly at Junpei and Santa. She waved her hand dismissively, doing her best to laugh the whole confrontation off.
I was just kidding. You really shouldn't take me seriously. Well, I mean, the things I just told you about are true. They really did happen. But the results of that experiment really aren't anything to go by. They could have easily falsified them. In the end, I'm sure they were just in it for the ratings. They are a TV station after all.
At last, it seemed that Santa had gained control of his composure.
Right! Man, I gotta admit, you had me there for a minute. I, really thought you were serious.
Of course not. Like I told you before, I'm sure it's all just pseudoscience.
Oh, okay, right.
Santa and Lotus laughed and gave one another jovial claps on the shoulder. Junpei, however, didn't feel so much like laughing. Something felt wrong, unclear.
All right, enough nonsense. We've got the key. Let's get out of here.
Word.
Word. Lotus and Santa walked away from the picture, but Junpei stayed, staring at the picture of the dog.
A field not visible to the naked eye. Morphogenetic field.
The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. All right, let's go to the hallway. I'll go get June. You guys head to the door. Okay. Roger that. Alright, let's get out of here. Yes. It unlocked. Good job, Junpei. Good. Now we can get going. Come on, what are you guys standing around for? Let's get out of here. Come on, Jumpy, let's go. Alright, let's go. You found it. They stepped through the door to find themselves in a wide hallway. And that is where we finish for today, because it is coming up on 5 in the morning.